Hello everybody! Today we're going to unbox, take a close-up look and test the Masterplug individually switched USB surge extension lead. So let's first take a look around the outside of the box. So this is an extension lead with 4 sockets as well as 2 USB outlet ports or sockets. And it is surge and spike protected, and it has an unlimited connected equipment warranty. So this one is in gloss white, and it's also available in a gloss black as well. And here are some of its features. And taking a look at the back of the box. There are further product specifications and features. So this individually switched USB surge extension lead has a 1 meter long cable. Okay, so now let's go ahead and open up the box by cutting apart the sticky seal that's keeping the box flap securely shut. And let's pull out that tab. And there are further sticky seals around the sides as well, so let's cut those. And flipping open the box lid to reveal the contents of this Masterplug individually switched USB surge extension lead. So let's pull the lead out. And of course, checking inside the box to make sure nothing is left behind, and surely enough there is something, and just double checking, making sure, once again, checking through, that we've emptied the box. So now I'm just going to set the box to the side. Let's set it on the left hand side of the frame, and just setting the contents out across the tabletop. So you can see the surge extension lead is individually switched, and it is in a gloss white. And just setting the contents down across the tabletop so you have a nice clear view of everything from this unboxing. So first, taking a look at this leaflet here, we have the Masterplug surge extension lead USB power information and guidance on how to use this individually switched USB surge extension lead. So you can see it does have 3 panels on a single page, and giving you a quick close-up look for your reference to the details and specifications for this individually switched USB surge extension lead. And some contact information as well for Masterplug should you have any issues with your individually switched USB surge extension lead. So that's done. We can set the paper down on the right hand side of the frame, and moving on to the extension lead itself. So just going to reinsert that diagram there for the plug, and then giving you a close-up look to this Masterplug individually switched USB surge extension lead. So first, giving you a further out look right there of this individually switched USB surge extension lead in gloss white. You can see the gloss white finish right there as I twist it around, letting the light from the pendant ceiling light play across its surface. Okay, so now taking a closer look, just going to show you the plug first. So it does have a 13 amp fuse, and this is a British or UK 3-pin plug, as you can see right there, and for your reference, the schematics of the plug. Okay, so now moving on to the main extension lead itself, and before I do that, let's undo the cable tie that's holding the cable nice and tidied together. So the cable is 1 meter long. And just gonna put that diagram to the side there on the right hand side of the frame, and once again giving you that close-up look to the plug head as well as the extension lead itself. So some reference there and guidance information, and of course the meter long cable. The cable is 1 meter long for this surge extension lead. So right there, giving you a nice full view of this surge extension lead. And then the body itself, the main unit of the surge extension lead, this is 39 centimeters long. So giving you an overall look to this surge extension lead and the thickness as well, giving you some sense of size as well. I'm going to rest it in the palm of my hand as always whenever I can, but this time around perhaps I'll hold it instead for balance and grip right there. And now trying to rest it in the palm of my hand, being a bit tricky given that the cable itself is rather stiff, but there we go, resting in the palm of my hand, giving you some idea of this 39 centimeter long lead body unit right here. Okay, so now taking a close-up look, you can see there are 2 Type A USB outlet sockets or ports for charging your USB enabled devices. And then, of course, the indicators. So there are 2 LED status indicators. They're not buttons, although they do somewhat look like them. They are round, and you can see there's the power indicator as well as the surge protection indicator as well. So they are LEDs. And then we do have the sockets. So they are 4 outlet sockets, 3-pin UK sockets. And also something to mention here is the 2 USB power outlets here have a combined 2.1 amperes. And just moving across, you can see the sockets individually switched right there. So nice positive click feel, very crisp and clean, and strong in click feel as well. So one thing to note as well is the spacing between the sockets. Always good to know, because sometimes you might have bulky items or chargers that go into these sockets which take up more than just that single space. And just moving across, so there we go. So all 4 sockets right there, giving you a nice clear view of this master plug individually switched USB surge extension lead with the unlimited connected equipment warranty. So it'll protect or replace your devices should they be damaged from electrical surges or spikes. And there, right there, giving you a close-up look to the plug and the way the lead or cable goes into the main unit And taking a look at the underside, so this is wall mountable, as you can see that there are 2 hook holes there, as well as having 4 round pads there to prevent any slippage or scratches to any tabletop or surface. So giving you that nice detailed look on the underside of this master plug individually switched USB surge extension lead. It's right there, giving you that nice clear view, and giving you once again the side view, so you have a good idea of the width and thickness of this unit. So you can see overall the main majority of the unit is in a matte finish, and the gloss finish of the white is on the major parts of the upper plate or surface of this extension lead unit. However, not on the actual plates of the sockets itself. You can see that contrast right there between the matte and gloss finish. And you can hear just how crisp and direct that switch feel is for each of these individual switches, 4 in total, 4 sockets, as well as 2 USB sockets right there. So nice overall look. Now let's plug it in, but before doing that, let's make sure that the switches are all in the off position, and plugging the plug for the extension lead into an outlet and turning it on. And you can see the extension lead light up. So even the switches do have LEDs in them to indicate their status, and giving you a close-up look right there. That's a dark blue. It might appear pale blue, but dark blue for the power indicator on the bottom left. And then the top upper is a white, as you can see, showing that it is surge protected. And just moving across, you can see the individual switches right there for each of the sockets. Okay, so now let's test it out with an Anker mini port, dual port USB charger. So, I beg your pardon, it's an Anker PowerPort Mini dual port USB charger, which I've unboxed very recently, so you can see just how compact this USB wall charger is, with 2 outlet ports on it. So it is the Anker PowerPort Mini dual port USB charger with a UK 3-pin plug. So we'll plug it in a second, because together with it I have an Anker Powerline Plus USB-C to USB 3.0 Type A cable. Which I've also unpacked before on the box. Let's plug this into the Anker PowerPort Mini USB charger. And then plug the USB Type-C end to a Sony Xperia XZ3 smartphone, which I've unboxed before as well. And it's resting nicely in the Bling's Carbon Fiber Effect Slim TPU case, which I've also unpacked before. Let's plug the USB-C end into the smartphone. And then now let's plug the plug, which is the Anker PowerPort Mini USB charger, into one of the sockets. Let's put it in position number 2. And there goes the power. It is on. So these switches are actually on the on position. So to turn it off, with the lights off, that will be the off position, as you can see right there. So slightly confusing. Maybe it's my interpretation of the way that they are displayed or indicated. So with the LED on, that means power is being supplied. Switching it off, you'll see that the phone has stopped charging. So flipping it back on, right there, supplies the power to the socket. Okay, and giving you that close-up look right there. And it's always worth noting the spacing in between the sockets, as I mentioned earlier, because sometimes certain extension leads might have the sockets packed too closely for larger chargers or plugs. So right there, plenty of space between the plugs, or at least the switches. So that's the Master Plug individually switched USB Surge extension lead. Thanks for watching and happy powering!